reality is what they count on when they have these Easy Pass programs is that that you buy it for a lot of people and that a certain amount won't use it. So they can sell it to you at a discounted rate. But if we were only to sell, let's say we bought 1,000 passes through the city or the Alameda TMA, and you only sold it to people that you knew were going to use it, AC Transit's model doesn't work. And so, but we have some ideas that we're not ready to share yet, that ways we might be able to work with them to start to expand to larger populations of people that we might be.
If my priority was that I actually want that offered, if my belief is that the number one way you get people to ride the bus is you reduce the price for everybody, and that in fact, if we did that, we would in fact have more people riding the bus and out of their cars, that one step. If I want that first and foremost, then is that voting no on this proposal?
No, I think we should add it. I mean, I think it's essentially in there. I think what we're saying, I think it's essentially in there.
I want that the high priority. How do I get more so people can afford it? I honestly, if I believe that in fact one of the biggest obstacles of the bus use is in fact the price, then what can I do to this plan to make that a priority?
I think it's already, Expand Easy Pass program is already a project in the near term, maybe it's a midterm, so I think it would be talking with the rest of the council to see if they could move that up.
Okay.
I'll let you guys handle it.
Okay, so we'll be going down a list then, so we can reevaluate your high priorities.
Yeah, so there's, if you want to, kind of a good summary that I have kind of dog-eared in my plan is page
51.
51.
Yeah.
It says Easy Pass Expansions Project 19. It's in midterm completion.
It says 3 to 8 years.
That's
so
right.
It says high, but it still says, 3 to 8 years.
And that's because currently what you want does not fit AC Transit's Easy Pass program, so we would have to work with AC Transit. We don't control it entirely. We'd have to work with our partner to try to see if we could come up with a program to achieve what you want, which we're prepared to do. I'm just saying the reason it's in the 3 to 8 is that we don't control it.
Okay, so if I think cost is actually the big issue, and then I have another proposal from DABA, I think it's DABA, offering free, GABA, offering a free shuttle and connecting to BART. Could that be done in less than 3 years if that's the priority?
Well, I guess if based on what they've said in their petition, I don't think we can achieve what they're proposing in 3 to 5 years. If it were a single route that there was a funding source from, I think we could put it in the near term. But currently, it's an unfunded priority. We're not putting staff's recommendation not to put anything in near term that doesn't have a funding source. Okay,
then I'm going to ask a question in regards to data, because we did have data at the beginning of this thing on page 8. It's throughout this report also. The trips to San Mateo increased 33%, 1,613 to 2,172. Trips to San Francisco, 54% increase. And trips to Santa Clara, 25%. But it says, where are the raw numbers for trips to Oakland or trips to BART, to the BART stations? Where are those raw numbers that are just that, as opposed to, I see data that says, nevertheless, those commuting to Oakland, nearly 4 out of 5 residents drive alone. But where is the increase driving to Oakland in here? Just to Oakland, or just to the BART stations? Where's that data? I couldn't find it.
Well,
that data is not data.
Yeah, that data is not presented in the report itself, but we do have all of that data.
Okay, so if in fact, so personally I think that data needed to be in this report, because that's where a chunk of our traffic is to Oakland. So if we need that data. I think that we need that data to be able to make an informed decision. So I think that was right. So I would like that data presented before the end of this agenda item, if at all possible. Because that's where I think a lot of our traffic is. You say that, but you don't give us the raw numbers, so we don't know. Is that 25% increase? Is it 54% increase? You break it down for San Mateo, San Francisco, and Santa Clara, but you don't have the numbers to Oakland or to the BART stations or to those specific spots. Where's that data is missing?
Well, there's a summary of it on page 23, the diagram.
I'm looking for the raw numbers. You presented raw numbers, right? Do you know that?
Yes.
You did. You specifically did. You said 1,613 trips since 2005. Now, 9 years later, it's 2,172 trips to San Mateo.
Right.
So we could actually do the calculation, and then that's going to be a 35% increase. San Francisco, you had specific numbers, 4,600, 71,
Right.
7,200. I'm looking for your specific numbers for Oakland specifically. And then, of course, Fruitvale, any other BART stations, the increase. We need that data.
The data's not in here. I
So
mean,
that
it's
is a
not
serious
showing.
problem. That is by far the number one place I think most of us go to, and I think that, in fact, GABA recognizes that in their proposal. And I think data is what you guys were hired to present. Data needs to be here.
So, Mayor
And
Spencer, if I may, there's a lot of data in here, and we could have presented 100 pages of just data.
So I
What we chose
appreciate
to
that.
do was use
Oakland,
our professional
there's no way
judgment.
you can
We
justify
do.
not having
I
Oakland's numbers
disagree. I
included
disagree.
here.
Figure 13 shows that there's a problem, that the vast majority of commuters are going
This
to
is
downtown
about
Oakland
data,
at
so
78%.
thank you, Ms. Ott, I appreciate that. Okay.
It does show 10,000 reduction
It doesn't show the,
on figure
Page
13
the other,
for the inner East Bay.
okay,
and
so
then it
what
shows
is the
two
raw
dots.
number for 2005 trips to Oakland? What is that number?
And help me understand what that data is going to
So
help
if you
us
look in the rest of
determine.
this report, it does do this. It breaks it down.
Because what our
Raw
goals-
trips to San Francisco, San Mateo, and Santa Clara. And it
Mayor
shows the
Spencer,
increase.
The goals of this plan are to reduce drive-alone trips to.
So if I don't know the
Drive-alone trips
increase,
off and on the island, we have all that data that's presented here, and what we know
No,
is that
you don't.
78% of the drive-alone trips
If
off
they
the
are
island
only
are going
driving-
to downtown Oakland. What we have here, what the data is presented here, is to solve the problem that the goals of the plan present. The goals of the plan are to reduce drive-alone trips. We have all that data presented
so
here.
I would
I
appreciate
don't
if you
believe the
could,
data that what you're suggesting would change the results of this plan.
and I don't know why you included trips to San Francisco, trips to San Mateo, and trips to Santa Clara if you're not going to include Oakland. And I think it does matter because that's where many of our people go. So I want to know the increase so then I can figure out if I have a free service to Fruitvale BART, can I in fact greatly reduce these numbers? Does that address my problem?
We do have that data. Would you like that data? Because we've
Yes,
actually
by the end of
estimated
this
some.
topic, I want the raw
We've
numbers,
actually
just like
asked
you
it-
presented on the
We've
other.
estimated projections
I
for
want-
those lines, if you'd like some of those
I
data
want the
for
raw number of the trips
We
to
don't have it.
Oakland.
It's not in this plan. We do have it, but it's not in the plan.
It sounds like he has it. If he has it, it'd be great to have by the end of this topic, so we can be informed. All right, I
So,
appreciate it. I'm going to
yeah,
continue.
I
Member
understand.
Ashcraft.
I was just